West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yep. Welcome to the live call-in show. 1.5 the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Machel, St. Patrick here. 45 minutes this one. Just started just after 10:15. 10:15 UK time, I should say. D Major General says in the chat, Mash, I've got it already, bro. I've been watching it since the game started. It's hella boring. So yeah, West Indies are currently playing the New Zealand Select 11 side. Let me just say to people now, because obviously lots of you, like someone's going to score a century in this match, probably, and some of you are going to get super excited and bust your nut over this warm-up match. So let me just remind people and warn people what happened the last time we went to New Zealand, because true say some of you don't study anything and you're young out here, right? The last time we went to New Zealand, we played the warm-up match between the two test matches in 2020. Darren Bravo, if I'm not mistaken, scored a 90-odd. And if I'm not mistaken, he certainly scored a ton. I want to say it was a double ton, but I remember that Darren Bravo scored heavily in the warm-up match. Bearman bust a nut and got excited, going, yeah, we're really going to threaten New Zealand in the test match. But for a start, Bravo didn't even score over 15, if I'm not mistaken, in any of the test innings. So I think I'm just glad we've got a warm-up match. But I couldn't care less what happens in the warm-up match. I'm not reading anything into any of the performances in the warm-up match, because all that matters is, can you perform when the real deal happens? So just for me, just see the warm-up match for what it is, which is they're getting some match practice. And for those who've just arrived in New Zealand, getting acquainted to conditions in New Zealand ahead of the first test. I think the first test starts this next week, Monday. Against New Zealand. So yeah. For those who are saying, where can you watch it? The warm-up match is on YouTube. You can go to the official New Zealand Cricket web page or YouTube page, and it is there. There's no comms, so you have to be... Did someone just get out? No, just outside edge. You have to be you have to be down rotten to watch this. You like, as soon as this live show is done, I'm going to bed. I'm not even watching the warm-up match. I'll wake up in the morning and see who's scored some runs and so on and so forth. Because do you know what? I'll freely admit that there are some of you who follow Caribbean Cricket Podcast. You're much better. Let's say better. I was about to say bigger, but you're much better cricket fans than me, because I can't watch cricket with no comms. I can't watch any sport with no comms. I'm not that down horrendous. And furthermore, I barely watch any cricket that doesn't involve West Indies. Like, I have to be so bored and have nothing to do to watch cricket that doesn't involve West Indies. So I freely admit that some of you are better cricket fans than I am, because I ain't got time. So what do we want to talk about? I don't know if the final match in Super 50 has been washed out yet. Jamaica versus Barbados, but it looks like every single game in Super 50 will be washed out today, which will basically mean that of the 16 possible games in Super 50, 7 of them, after today, 7 of them will have been washed out. 7. We've had 7. If I'm not mistaken, have I got that right? If the last match is, yes, in fact, I've just got a notification. Jamaica versus Barbados abandoned due to rain. So if I'm not mistaken, we've had, I think it's 7. 7 of the 9 matches have been washed out, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's 6 out of 9. Either way, it's absolutely... Is it 8? 8? What? No. How many matches? What round was it today? Was it round 4 today? I don't even know. See, this is the thing. Jay saying 8 matches have been washed out. Basically, I don't know anymore. Have we even... I think we had one completed match. No, two maybe. I think Windwards beat Leewards. That was a completed match. Barbados beat Windwards. That was a completed match. I think it's 7 because Santoki tweeted 7 earlier on, and I think he's counted wrong. I think it's with Jamaica and Barbados having just been washed out. I think it's 7 washouts in the tournament. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. We ain't learned not one thing from Super 50. And and this is the thing, right? Men will jump up and down and cuss about, oh, the I team didn't win in New Zealand. Well, are you watching you watch our domestic watch our domestic list day tournament? Not one ball of cricket is really being bowled in that tournament. An utter waste of our time. And the thing is, even if the competition was happening, it's still a waste of time. So yuck all round to the competition. Not one thing has been learned from this year's Super 50. So, you know, let me drink my water, yeah. So yeah, under 19s, yeah, good point from D Major. Under 19s are leading England 3-1. But can I say, okay, so I had a conversation with somebody who will remain nameless because I don't think he wants me to air their government name on air. And he said to me through the necessary contacts that a good under 19 team has 6 players that make it through to the senior squad. And I was saying to that individual that I would accept just one. I would rather one good player from the under 19s make it through to the senior squad than 6 average players. West Indies don't need, and this isn't, sorry, so I have to be careful here because this isn't me cussing out the under 19s at all. But what I am saying is we need to, first and foremost, so here we go. I can trust D Major to bust his nut, right? So D Major goes left arm Chinaman bowler from Jamaica who bowls left arm finger spin and wrist spin, Vittel Laws. So I saw couple man busting a nut over Vittel Laws. You will never catch me busting a nut like that. No, because stop it, innit? Because what's he proven? What's he proven? Stop all this. We need to stop this. We actually need to stop. Like you lot are so thirsty. You're so thirsty for just anyone to be good that as soon as you see one good performance, you'll raise that name to the rooftop. It's gonna take more than that for me to bust my nut. Like we just have to stop this. All I want is one man. I don't know why for that. I just want one man to make it through to the West Indies team. And when I say one man, he has to be good, like Jaden Seals. I'd rather take one Jaden Seals than 6 average man. We already got bare average man. We already got enough average man. I want one man. You're not hearing what I'm saying. I want one man to get into the West Indies team who's good. just one to get into the West Indies team. We need to start demanding, like, we want one Jaden Seals talent-wise, whether it's with the preferably with the bat, because our bowling attack when everyone's fit isn't a problem at the moment. Obviously, Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Jaden Seals, etc. We want one batter. One batter. That's all that's all we're asking for. So when we're looking at that under 19 team, obviously people are going to say Van Lang is the guy, but Most of you didn't even know who he was before you saw the under-19 team. So how can you bust your nut over him when you? It's like the Guyanese, like the Guyanese cricket fans who started busting a nut over Quentin Sampson after CPL. Bear Man didn't even know who Quentin Sampson was. He hits a couple good scores in CPL and everyone just busting their nut all over the place over him. Allow it, innit? Like, allow it. You didn't even know who my man was before CPL. Like, we need to stop it. I think Sampson's playing. I think he's in that T20. I think he's in that T10 betting league. Where is that being played? Abu Dhabi. That he's in. I think he's in that betting league somewhere. That he's in one of them match fixing leagues. So yeah. So everyone's been sending me messages going, Mash, what about Jonathan Van Lang? He looks like a real talent. You didn't even know who you didn't even know who he was before you saw him play on YouTube against England under-19. I beg you don't lie. I beg you don't lie. You didn't even know who my man was. And you want to talk him up. Let's see how he does in the under-19 World Cup. Who have we drawn again? Is it Thailand? Let's see if he can mash down Thailand in the under-19 World Cup. Who's in our group? Thailand, South Africa, and is it Zimbabwe? Who's in our under-19 group? In our under-19 World Cup group? Does anyone know? Is it Thailand? Thailand? Or is it Tahiti? I can't even remember who it is, cuz. I know South Africa are in there. I want to say it's Thailand, South Africa, and one next team in the under-19 World Cup. So let's wait to see what they do in the under-19 World Cup. Now, if you want to criticize Tanzania, that's it. It's not Thailand. Tanzania. Yeah. Let's see if Afghanistan, and South Africa. Let's talk about the under-19 team again after the World Cup. Obviously we want them to do well, but let's kind of wait till that time. Let's see how they go. Let's see how they go in the World Cup first, right? Let's not forget when Jewel Andrew played in the under-19 World Cup 2 years ago. And the thing is, Jewel is still so young that Jewel can qualify for this edition of the under-19 World Cup as well. I was told when I was in Jamaica or Florida this year for the West Indies games, I was told that Jewel is going to be selected in the under-19 World Cup team. I don't know if they've changed their mind on that, but for those of you who don't know, Jewel still qualifies for under-19. So, and I was told about 4 months ago or 3 months ago that they will select him in this under-19 World Cup team. So let me just put this in perspective for people. Obviously, Jewel Andrew in the 2024 under-19 World Cup announced himself with 140 something. I can't remember who he hit it against, but the point is Jewel actually did bits in the World Cup. So if you go back to the 2018 World Cup, Alec Athanaze was the top run scorer in the 2018 World Cup. Arguably, Alec has not delivered has not. I wouldn't say he's not lived up to his promise, but he's not delivered on his obvious ability, right? Jaden Seals, Alzari Joseph both came out of the under-19 World Cup with people knowing that they were going to do bits for the West Indies. So somebody out, which year was the year where we had a shit team? Was it 2020? No, that was Jaden Seals' year. 2022? In fact, yeah, the team we had for our own World Cup in Guyana. Not in Guyana, sorry. No, we had a World Cup at home in 2022. That team's not really. I need to go back and look at that squad, but I feel like that team's not really given us anything. So this is why I'm a bit. This is why I'm a bit circumspect about just announcing that, oh, this man's good and that man's good and so on and so forth. Because if you go back through all our World Cup teams post 2016, if you get one man, you've done all right. If you can just get a one man, okay. Even the 2016 team, Oh, yeah, we won the World Cup in 2016. So Alzari Joseph came out of that side. Casey Carty belatedly has come good 10 years later after that 26. It took Casey Carty 10 years from the 2016 World Cup to come good. Shimron Hetmael is a waste, so he never actually came good, or he shone brightly for about a year and a half and then just disappeared. So even our World Cup winning team, we couldn't get a bagger man. So yeah. Let's see what some comments are saying. Here we go. Chunky boy, Sammy's got to go. Chunky Bunky, how old are you, by the way? Out of interest. This is a genuine question. I'm not going to cuss you out, but I genuinely want to know, how old are you? I'm gonna Chunky Bunky, tell me how old you are. 19. You're 19 years old. Okay. That means that my point is invalid. So I was in an uncle group chat. I was in an uncle group chat earlier on. They were getting, a couple of their men were getting vexed with me because in that uncle group chat, basically all of them apart from me, and I'm an uncle. Before anyone says, "Oh, Mash, what are you doing?" I'm an uncle. They're older uncles to me, but I am an uncle, right? They're probably, most of them in that group chat are probably like 60 plus. And I think, what did I put? Let me find the message. Let me find something that I put in there, because I think this is a talking point, something I really want to get into today. I put in there, I sent this into the Discord. So it was the usual nonsense where someone said, "Where's Machel?" or something like that. He hasn't been in this chat for ages, because I've just not been involved in it for a bit. And so that's it. The chat started much earlier in the day, about 8 hours ago, with someone saying, "Why can our teams do well at under 19 level, but they can't make it? They can't develop at the next stage?" So I replied to the group saying, "That's because coaching in the Caribbean is crap." And basically I said, I'm reading this verbatim, and I said, "Natural ability and raw talent can only take you so far. And it's possible at youth man level to get really far based on your natural raw ability with a bit of coaching here and there. But once you pass under 19 level and you're suddenly playing senior cricket, you actually need to be coached to get significantly better. It can't just be out and out raw talent, right?" Anyways, I thought that was a reasonable point. One of the uncles then said to me, "Yeah, the coaching is crap, just like your coach, Darren Sammy." So obviously my man's trying to draw me out. And then, so I didn't take the draw out at that point, right? Instead, I just said, "Listen," I said, "this is bigger than Darren Sammy," right? And I said, this is exactly what I said, if after 30 years of decline, people can't see that the issue is below the international level, then they're even more blind than I realized. But I suppose that's why we have declined, because people would rather blame West Indies cricket on one man than focus on the deep-rooted concerns, right? So now it's starting to get a bit back and forth, because I'm taking it there. So we're going back and forth. We're going back and forth, doing this, that, and the third. Men are doing their usual thing of saying, "Oh, you're just a Sammy defender, da, 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 da." Cool, whatever. In the end, I said, "You know what? Sack Sammy, yes, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't." The thing is, in the Caribbean, is we lack nuance. We lack the ability to talk with nuance. Particularly when it comes to West Indies cricket, so many of the West Indian fan base and media think it's either black or it's white, and we can't have any nuance to our discussion whatsoever. So particularly when it comes to the older generation, right? So I was going, okay, well, sack man then, yes, like whatever, like I don't business. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Then a man said to me, "We've never been as bad as we have been under Darren Sammy." So I just pulled out straight from my locker of facts. I said, did you know that between 2015 and 2019, the West Indies didn't win an ODI series anywhere in the world? Not at home, not away, nowhere. For 4 years straight, we did not win an ODI series anywhere in the world. So I said to my man, are you sure we've just turned crap? Because that was pretty crap. But this is the thing, because it's all part of the cognitive dissonance that exists in our region, where people will memory hold stuff in order to just go along a narrative. So, for example, a common narrative in the last year has been West Indies turned the corner, right, under Andre Coley because we won in Australia, right? And I'm not discounting that. That was a fabulous victory. But somehow people managed to. So in that year, 2024, when we beat Australia, somehow everyone has then memory hold the fact that we lost 3-0 to England and that Bangladesh then came to the Caribbean and beat us as well. Loads of people have memory hold that. So for some people, in terms of Test cricket, it goes, we won a test in Australia and then we won a test in Pakistan, and they've memory hold everything else that went on in between. And I'm like, yeah, but how have you done that? Like, West Indies cricket is snakes and ladders. Every ladder you go up, you must know that there is a snake to come next, and we're going straight back down to where we came from. There has been no period of sustained progress for West Indies cricket since I've been watching religiously. I've been watching West Indies cricket religiously since about 1996, probably, might even be 95, right? We haven't progressed not once in that time. We've had some short-lived success, and then it's followed by a snake, and we're right back down to where we started again. So I don't understand how people paint these narratives and just basically just lie to themselves. Just pure lying. I don't understand. Right? So anyways, we're chatting now. We're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then this was my line, and this is what I wanted to discuss. I said in the thing, the hardest thing for the older generation to understand is that there is a generation beneath them that have never seen West Indies be good. If you are currently listening to this chat live, or if you are somebody who's watching this on replay and you are over the age of 55, 60, I need you to deep what I just said. If you are over the age of 55 and 60, you need to listen carefully. Boy, I've had to hotspot myself because my internet don't want to work. So yeah, listen, my Wi-Fi, there's some workers outside there's some workers outside my yard. They've been mashing up the road outside my yard. Internet's been down horrendous ever since then. So let me do a hotspot thing. So yeah, so as I was saying, if you're over the age of 55 and 60, you need to understand that there is a generation under you that has never ever seen West Indies be good. And here's the thing now. Here's the thing that's really going to upset the uncles. Here's the things that's really going to get them. The younger generation are more relevant to the cricket than the older generation are. Now, hear me out. We have to respect the uncles. We have to respect the older generation. We have to respect the Vivs, the Kirtleys, the Courtneys, the forerunners and the forefathers and the foremothers. We have to respect. I'm not saying we don't respect what went before, but what I am saying is this, right? What I am saying is this. The last time West Indies were good was 35 years ago. 35 years ago. Are you hearing what I'm saying? 35. That's a whole big man and woman. That's a whole big man and woman with 2 kids we're talking about. There are West Indies fans who have had time to grow up to be a big man and a big woman, get married, buy a yard, and have kids, and they've never seen West Indies be good. They are more relevant to the cricket right now than all of the 60-plus man. Whether you like it or what, that is the facts. And I keep saying this, and I will keep repeating it. If you are over the age of 60 something in West Indies cricket and you're still talking we're still talking about when we were good, you need to get away from the cricket, because you're to blame. You are stinking out the cricket with your chat. Like, get it, like seriously, like, this ain't me just bantering people off and doing clickbait. Like, you are the problem. You are the problem, because you don't accept and you don't understand that a new generation has replaced you, and they don't know what being good is. And you lot who do know what being good is have no answers, because if you had answers, we wouldn't be shit. Do you know what it is? It's like I equate it to the generational trauma of, like, if you're somebody who's actually from the Caribbean or of Caribbean heritage and you're watching this right now, most of you, if not all of you, possibly grew up getting beatings, right? So when I was a young you, I used to get beatings, right? And that generation, sorry if this is triggering for some people, but it's facts. That generation that used to beat us. So I don't know about you lot and what type of beatings you used to get. Some of you would have got the switch. Some of you would have got the belt. Some of you would have got worse than that, right? But if you were a young you like me, you grew up getting beatings from the generation before, and that was because that's all they knew. Because the generation before us grew up believing that discipline was the way forward, that you just had to beat the good behavior into your youths, just clap them up, just clap them with the belt, right? This next generation now, we're the first generation to raise our youths of Caribbean heritage. We're probably the first generation to raise our youths that don't think that just licking your youths up is the way forward. So that older generation, they don't understand that. Like, they're outdated. They're a relic from their time period. They don't understand that it's not about just licks when your youth is misbehaving. So I equate the older generation in West Indies cricket. They're living through trauma. They've got unresolved trauma that they're dealing with when it comes to watching West Indies now. They can't believe what's going on. Whereas the rest of us, it's like, this is all we know. We're living in a different era to them. That's what I equate it to. That's how I draw the parallel. So when I tell like the 60+ lot to shut their mouth, like they actually have to shut their mouth. Boy. Right. Let's put the link in. TC says I'm frozen. Am I frozen, or is TC watching this? Am I frozen, people, or is TC watching this on a replay and has only just got to the part where I'm frozen? People are saying that. Oh, snap! People are saying I'm frozen. Thing is, I was hotspotting myself. So maybe the hotspot is why I was frozen. I'm back on the internet now. What am I saying, people? Am I still frozen? What are people saying? This flipping internet. What's going on, people? What am I frozen still? Let me pause and I'm good. I'm good. People saying I'm good. Okay. I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm good to go, people. Every time I talk about the uncles needing to shut their mouth, the internet collapses me up. So it is what it is. Anyways, let me put this thing in. Let me put this thing in. Let me find this thing. I need to. No, something's happened with my internet. Like it only just started doing this, where it just cuts out sporadically. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. E have messed me up, man. They've. It's like every time I do this live calling thing, the internet just goes down rotten. Right, I'm about to put this thing in the chat, but I'm not gonna bother put this in the chat. Hold on. So is Neeks behind you lot? So Neeks is saying that the visuals are back now, but I thought the visuals was back time ago. Maybe Neeks is watching this on a delay. Anyways, oh yeah, let's talk about this before I put the thing in the chat. So World Cup. So our World Cup group is out. We have got who's in our World Cup group? England, Bangladesh, Italy, Nepal, West Indies. Right. Let's talk about that, people. England, Bangladesh, Nepal, Italy, West Indies. Okay. Hear me out, people. If we get out of that group and make it to the Super 8s, we've had a good World Cup. There. That's what I'm saying. If we make it out of that group and make it to the Super 8s, we've had a good World Cup. And everything after that is a bonus. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, people. If we get out of the group with England, Bangladesh, Nepal, Italy, we've had a good World Cup. And then if we get to that Super 8s, any win we get after that is a bonus. What do you reckon, people? What do you reckon to that? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel on paper, yes, I want to say we can get through, but I do not go into that group confident that we can get through. So getting out the group would equal a good World Cup for me. Obviously, people are going to be like, Mash, it's only Bangladesh, Nepal, Italy. We just beat Bangladesh 3-0 in T20s in Bangladesh, etc. Like, I hear what people are going to say, but we're talking about World Cup pressure here. Getting out the group, yeah, I'd take that. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, as we get closer to the World Cup, we don't know about injuries and this, that, and the third. For all we know, Puran might do a U-turn, etc. So we don't know. Yeah, I agree with where's this comment? I agree with Machel here. Machel says, "Don't worry, we'll play on some flat pitches in Kolkata and Mumbai." Yeah, the flatter the pitch, the greater our chances. And remember, this is an ICC World Cup, so India and Sri Lanka can't just produce raging turners throughout the tournament. It's got to be ICC mandated pitches. So the flatter the pitches, the more I would expect us to beat the so-called weaker teams. But yeah, if there's any kind of movement on offer, then anything could happen. Anything could happen in that scenario. Yeah. So there's that's going on. I want to talk about Super 50, but there's nothing to talk about. We've barely played any cricket. We've learned nothing. We've learned nothing from Super 50. We can't, there's no talking point. There is no player we can talk about. There is nothing that we've learned that we can say, yeah, this person is somebody we should consider for the ODI side. Like, we've literally learned nothing. Bumming Chug says Rutherford scored 48 off 18 yesterday in the. You see, we need to talk about these T10 leagues, you know, because these T10 leagues, like, who watches these apart from the match fixers and the betting people? Who's watching this cricket? Because it is just a betting league, right? What are you lot? You lot that watch T10s, what are you getting out of it? Obviously, the players are getting money. I'm not begrudging the players making money, but what are you lot getting out of it? It's like the people who watch. I don't know if you're not in the UK. I don't know if you know about this, but there's this thing we have in the UK called Baller League, where basically like a bunch of ex-pros and like futsal type players and a lot of like non-league players are managed by teams of like YouTubers and former professional footballers, famous people, if you want, right? It reminds me of that. Like, when people watch this Baller League thing, I'm like, what are you not getting out of this, though? Like, do you think, you see with T10 and things like Baller League, is this all part, I'm sound like an uncle now, but is this all part of our collective brain rot that we now have as a society, where we're so used to the fast foodification of content? Everything is content, right? And we're so used to a fast food diet of content and like short, sharp, real type reels, and what's the other, what do they call these things? I'm an old uncle out here. We're so used to like reels and memes and 10-second clips that we've allowed ourselves to believe that T10 cricket is something worth watching. It's so shit. It's so shit. And again, I can't begrudge the players. A man wants to eat a food. If a man wants to eat a food, a man's got to eat a food, right? But fine, the players are playing, right? But what is your excuse as a consumer? Come on, admit it. Who if you're watching Abu Dhabi T10, to me, you're only watching that because you're sexually frustrated. Like, I think some of you watch Abu Dhabi T10 so that you can get hard. I think that's why some of you lot are watching that. Like, I think it's a titillation thing for you lot. Like, some man watch porn, some man watch Abu Dhabi T10, and it makes you like, it's a way for you to get your frustration out. It can't be anything else. It can't be. It's got to be that. Because it don't make no sense to me. I know my internet's about to shut off, you know. I might as well go down in flames because I know the internet shutting off. Oh God, my eyes are stinging because I'm tired. I know, but I'm being serious though. I am actually being serious. Boy. Yeah, T10 league. Yeah, it's a real bat up and catch cricket, like curry goat cricket. T10 league reminds me, you know, when like you were a young youth and you you know, when you were a young youth and you would like scour the cable channels for the pornography channels, which were like, you know, like on the cable channels, and like you had like, once you got up into like 900, like 905, 910, and like you'd go onto the pornography channels because they had like the 10-minute free view at midnight. Anyone remember them times? The 10-minute free view, and man would be like, what midnight? Let me go get my little 10-minute free view. I know you lot were doing that. That weren't me. I heard it on the grapevine that you man were doing that, right? That's what T10 cricket is. Man are just tuning in for their 10-minute free view just cause. Yeah, for real. Fireball and me were the same. I was a man of God. Thing is, because I was covered in the blood of Jesus, that weren't me. I'm just recounting stories that I was told as a youth man, but I was covered in the blood of Christ. So I know that weren't me still. So yeah. What else? Oh my God, I don't. Well, what else we got to talk about? What else we got to talk about today? D Major General says West Indies are 50 for none after 13 overs in their warm-up game. Johnson Charles is on 23. Tagenarine Chanderpaul is on 22. Actually, do you know what? Let me just look at that squad. So I can't remember. Someone put in the Discord, actually. Let me see what the squad was. Somebody did put it up. Where is it? So the squad was Tagenarine Chanderpaul, John Campbell, Alec Athanaze, Brandon King, Kavem Hodge, Roston Chase, Justin Graves, Tevin Imlach, Kimar Roach, Anderson Phillip, Jamel Warrican, OJ Shields, and Johan Lane. So Shea Hope has been rested. Who else has been rested? Shea Hope and Jaden Seals, right? Which makes sense. So I'm assuming all 13, it'll be one of those games where all 13 get to bat and bowl or something like that. So I don't really know who's really battling for a place there. To me, the team is relatively self-explanatory. Chase is your only spinner, which means you play 4 seamers, of which one of them is probably Justin Graves. So you have what? Chase at 6, Graves at 7, Imlach takes the gloves at 8, and then you have 3 seamers, which will probably be Roach, Seals, and actually it'll be very interesting to see it'll be interesting to see what they do with their seamers. Roach, Seals, and Lane or Phillip, I don't know, whatever, right? So OJ Shields is playing today, yes. So then you'd be a 3 seamers, Graves as your fourth seamer, Chase as your spinner. So that's your 5 bowlers, right? And the only reason I'm only playing 3 frontline seamers is because you have to extend the batting. You can't, remember, we can't bat. So you have to extend the batting. So that means basically that your batting lineup would effectively be Campbell, Chanderpaul, let's say Athanaze is 3, Hope 4, Hodge 5, Chase 6, Graves 7, Imlach 8, Roach 9, Phillip 10. Let's just say Phillip's playing. Sorry, Phillip 9, Roach 10, Seals 11. Like something like that. I'm not saying that is the team. I'm saying something like that. Warrican obviously doesn't play. You don't need to play 2 spinners unless the pitch, for some reason, is going to take spin. And then King doesn't play because he's already been dropped. So I think the team, the only way you'd play someone like OJ Shields is if he does so well in this warm-up game that you can't not play him. But I assume he's not playing. Yeah, we've had a lot of people speak about the under-19 series. Rudy, have they won the series? 4 games? No, there's 3 games left. West Indies lead 3-1. So they haven't won the series yet, unless I'm mistaken. They're leading 3-1 in a 7-game series. So they haven't actually won. A Carnival of Sorts, thank you for the super chat, says, any Bolivarian games chat? Barbados, TT, Jamaica have sent teams to Peru. It's a dress rehearsal for Pan Am Games. Yeah, funnily enough, I was looking today, or had written down today to go and start looking to see what exactly is going on with this Bolivarian games. I don't really know much about it. Obviously, Barbados, Trinidad, and Jamaica have basically sent their next best 11 cricketers. So that'll be interesting. Is someone out? Oh, it's a drinks break. So that'll be interesting to see. I don't know. One of them Indian website channels probably has scorecards for it. Usually like something like Crick Heroes or something. Some website will carry those scores. Surely. You can't rely on Jamaica. Barbados has an Instagram page. In fact, all of them do. Red Force, Barbados, and Jamaica have their own Instagram pages. Jamaica definitely has a Facebook page, but that doesn't mean that they'll actually update their own media to let us know what's going on. So good luck finding out with what's going on there. Carris said that England under-19s left some of their better players in England. Possibly, I don't know. I don't know who they would be, if that's true or not. Unknown Gaming says, see how South Africa are owning India. Well, I'm not surprised. So those of you who follow us on Twitter, I tweeted after the BCCI put up that video called Coaching Masterclass, right? And it was that video, and they put the caption up saying Darren Sammy invited Gautam Gambhir into the West Indies, not coaching, mentoring, invited Gautam Gambhir into the West Indies changing room to deliver a mentoring masterclass. I retweeted that video quickly and I quote tweeted it and I said, we can't learn nothing from this man. That tweet got 300,000 views, and underneath it, it got bare racist comments, bare guerrilla tweets, bare man calling me the N-word, bare man telling me that I'm a dog, bare man telling me that I'm a black shit. Loads of racism, standard stuff. Like that's what I come to expect. If I even type or suggest anything about India in Twitter, I expect the racism man to come for me. Cool. But the thing is, everyone said that I was fishing for Indian engagement. I weren't fishing. I meant what I said. We have got nothing to learn from Gautam Gambhir. We ain't got nothing to learn from him politically because he's I nearly said something reckless here. We ain't got nothing to learn from him politically. We ain't got nothing to learn from him on a human being level. And we ain't got nothing to learn from him on a cricket coach level. More fool Darren Sammy for sending that idiot into our changing room. The man got rinsed by New Zealand 3-0 at home. You can't send him into our changing room. He can't tell us nothing. We can't learn nothing from him. And now South Africa are about to rinse his team as well. The only reason he can beat our team is because we're shit. But I knew we made India have to go to 5 days to beat us. You can't bring a man into our changing room where we've just taken them there for 5 days, where they had to sweat a little piece to beat us in their own ends and in their own conditions. We can't learn nothing from them, man. I sooner make you send in the Australian head coach and ask him to come talk to our guys. Maybe we can learn something then. But that man can't teach us nothing. Furthermore, Shukri Conrad, what the BCCI should do is they should now tweet mentoring masterclass when South Africa take them there tomorrow morning, and Shukri Conrad should go into their dressing room and say, now let me mentor you lot, because I've just come to your ends and rinsed you in your own ends. You ain't that good. I need to mentor you about we're asking him to come into our changing room. He can't help us. He can't tell us nothing. Fool. Sammy's a fool for that. Anyways, I got bare racism for that. Bare racism. You can find the tweet still. I retweeted it today. Bare gorilla emojis under that tweet. Bear man called me a black dog. Ah, boy. Yeah. So that's that, you know. So yeah, South Africa are taking them there. But you know what? On a serious note, though, what India are suffering from here, not too dissimilar to us and some other teams as well, is it's the T20fication of cricket. people can't. If you don't put a primacy on Test cricket, if you don't put a primacy on it, and you just expect people to just flip between different formats, you are going to struggle because man can't bat time no more. That's why I respect Shukri Conrad so much, because Shukri Conrad has basically created what Shukri Conrad has done with that Proteas side is he's basically created a football club mentality around a national team. Like, that's real man management, right? He has created a situation whereby when the Proteas all come together in the national side, it's like an Avengers thing. And they're like, yeah, we're all fully locked in when it's national cricket time. And that's down to Shukri Conrad, right? More teams could do well to learn from him and say, how did you create that? How did you convince a bag of your man who don't make as much money as the cricketers in the big three? How did you convince them that, listen, when Proteas come to call for you, it's time for us all to lock in like Power Rangers and all activate and get moving? And then everyone can dash out again, go play a T20 cricket. But when it's South Africa time, come fully locked in. How, like, that needs to be studied, because we're no different to South Africa. Bear of our man will run off to go earn the next bag as quick as they can, but they don't want to fully lock in when it's time for our cricket. Sammy needs to sit down with Shukri and say, come man, teach me. How did you do this? How did you get them to buy into this? Got man like Quinton de Kock coming out of retirement to come back and run back to Proteas. So yeah, then something has to be. You think we can get Buran to come back out of retirement to come play for West Indies? Hetmeyer's put himself into retirement. You think we can get that done? Needs to be studied, boy. Really needs to be studied out here. Anyways, listen, people. I did actually put the link in the chat for somebody who wanted to call in, but none of you called in, and I'm going to bed now. So that was a little quick 52 minutes. A little quick 52-minute show. Luckily, and one of the reasons why I'm going to go to bed now is because I don't trust the internet to hold out much longer. If I keep chatting and waffling on. So it was supposed to be a call-in show. No one called in. Oh, well. It is what it is, you know. Let's see what the warm-up game is saying. West Indies are 54 for none. Chanderpaul is on 22 from 41. John Campbell is on 28 from 50. After 15 overs, 54 without loss. So yeah, there's that going on. Listen, people, thank you so much for everybody who jumped in to the live. I need to stop calling it live calling because no one's getting calling in. So what should we call this now? The live. What is it if it's not a call-in? The live messaging? The live. Oh, sorry. Let me just tell you one thing before you go. So 2026, I'm thinking of launching a new show called CCP After Hours. I don't know if I'm going to call it CCP Extra or CCP After Hours. And I said this recently. I don't know if any of you were in it for it. But Shane, those of you who know Shane, my boxing friend from the UK, who came on one of our shows and said shut down the whole of West Indies cricket. So Shane reached out to me and said, Mash, I think you should really create a show on CCP where you basically have a show where everyone understands you're not going to talk about cricket on that show. Shane has been saying this to me for literally the last 6 months. And he's been like, Mash, like you have things to say which are just nothing to do with cricket. Just create a different show. So on his show, they've got on his show Only Sports. They have the Only Sports show, which obviously is primarily about boxing and Arsenal and things like that. Sorry, Only Facts Sports. Why did I say Only Sports? Only Facts Sports. And then they have Only Facts Extra. And Only Facts Extra is where they talk about stuff that you can't really put on their sports show. So anyway, Shane's been on at me for 6 months saying, Mash, you need to do that for CCP. So I'm thinking about launching that. If not in December, certainly in January. So look out for that, people. That's where you'll be able to see me talk about politics. And so for those of you who don't know, I teach politics. That's my job. Sorry, that's my subject. So yeah, I teach a lot on UK and US politics. So if I did a CCP after hours, that's where you'd hear me really cuss out about different topics and so on and so forth. But anyways, look out for that. Anyways, I'm getting out here, people. Thank you for everyone who joined the show. Thank you for anyone who did a super chat at any point in time. There wasn't a super chat here, but there was a comment that I starred, never put up. So let me just quickly address it. Smitty says, Mash, why aren't you talking about the treatment of Django? He certainly deserves a go. I mentioned Django the other day. CCP Unplugged, that's a good name. Yeah, I spoke about Django the other day. I've got nothing against Django getting a chance, but I think there's a difference here between I agree Django should get a chance, but I don't believe that Django is any savior either. So it's also, in that sense, it's much of a muchness to me. So yes, he should get a go. Yes, he should get a run. Maybe you should tell me who for. But at the same time, I'm not expecting any miracles. And also, you need to establish where do you want Django to get a go. So if it's in T20 cricket, what position are you playing him in? Didn't he just play the last 2 T20s actually instead of Brandon King? So in T20 cricket, if you're playing him, where are you playing him? And in ODI cricket, if you're playing him, where are you playing him? Let me know in the comments afterwards. Listen, thank you to everyone who joined in. Obviously, it froze at various times. Yeah, I'll be back very, very soon. Santoki and I are recording something on Thursday. I might record something tomorrow. So there should be some stuff up on tomorrow, Thursday, and maybe something else. I don't know. Anyways, look out for it, people, and we'll be back very, very soon. Peace.
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.